Video games are a common staple in today's society. They're one of the more common hobbies in America's youth today. Some of the more common games played today are Gears of War, Call of Duty, and Battlefield. They are all military-based shooters where you must eliminate the other team in any way you see possible. They are violent and received a mature rating for the way that they are portrayed. I'm here to persuade you why violent video games need to be controlled in the use today by children. I'm going to tell you why they need to be regulated, several ways in which they can be regulated, and also tell you what the Entertainment Software Rating Board is and what they do. I would like to inform you more on this subject because America's youth needs to be less violent and doesn't need that kind of violence pushed upon them. First of all, I need to tell you why they need to be regulated. Videogames.procon.org has a webpage dedicated entirely to statistics and graphs that deal with violence, video games, and many other aspects that video games affect. They have a graph that shows that 15% of all games purchased today have the mature rating. This is very important because with the amount of mature games that are being produced today, it is likely that that number will increase greatly. They also linked violent video games with aggression, bullying, and other school-related problems. The American Academy of Child Adolescent Psychiatry also did a study on the subject. They showed that video games in general can cause poor social skills, a lack of time for family and friends, lower grades in school, and even obesity in America today. This is also important because obesity is a big problem in America. Jill Adams used the correlation of how video games are related to violence in today's children as smoking is related to cancer in America's adults today. It's a very frightening statistic. Helen Phillips did one of the more eye-opening studies, in my opinion. She showed that the brain will not respond to violence in today's society if violence in video games is present. It dulls down the amount of violence that they can handle, and at a certain point the brain will just shut off. I'd like to tell you how to regulate the use of these video games. First of all, when you're going to buy a game, whether it's for you or anyone else, you need to look at the Entertainment Software Rating Board's rating for the game on the back of the box. They have letter ratings that are based on the age that it's appropriate for the user, and they give reasons why the game received the rating it did. The next fact is that the amount of time being played by today's youth is much too large. The average use is between 3 to 7 hours per day. Studies have shown that 1 hour per day is what it needs to be recommended to the children. The settings on today's consoles also will affect the way that they're used. Many of the new systems will have a parental setting that allows them to change the level of violence that is allowed in the game due to ratings. It tells how long the children can play the game before it will shut off and has a code-based lock on it. It also can control the online interactions between other violent people that could come into contact with the children on the internet while playing the games. The Entertainment Software Rating Board gives ratings to games based on the content that's found in the games. They were developed in 1994 to do just that, give ratings to games that previously had none. They have many different ratings that can be found. EC stands for Early Childhood. E stands for Everyone. E10 Plus stands for Everyone 10 and older. T stands for Teen, M for Mature, and AO for Adults Only. In America, the adults only games can only be found on the computer console. To receive a mature rating, a game must have at least one of the following: intense violence, blood and gore, sexual content, and or strong language. If a game has any or all of these, it will qualify for the mature rating. In conclusion, I feel that violent video games need to be controlled in America's youth today, both in the use and how they obtain them. I told you why I feel they need to be regulated, gave you several reasons of how to regulate them, and I explained to you what the Entertainment Software Rating Board is and what they do. I feel that video games are important to today's society for many reasons and hope that we can contain the violence that's shown to the children of tomorrow.